Boom. This is Ken everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got this Soul Land Reloaded up today. So we are moving right along. We got a new event up, so we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. I am up to 1390, so closing in on 1400 million, and we'll be there shortly. Of course, we'll be getting, wrong. Once we get wrong, we'll be able to max her out pretty much. So definitely crack 1400 million by that time. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got up right now. So we do have the Super Monday, so make sure that you do claim that. That should have been from all your stuff over the weekend, so it's a free chance to get 753 for me. It varies for everybody. It's a base draw. Usually between 700 and 900 is usually what it ends up being. So make sure that you do claim that. Zoo King's concert, I got to do that. I don't do that on this. I do that on my tablet, so I'll do that on my tablet a little bit later. Just want to make that because you do get some pretty good rewards in here. I'm not exactly too fond of the shop. I wish they would change this to a chest. Okay, so that we could choose which one, because I'd like to work on some of the other divine skills instead of dies. But it is what it is, so we'll move on through that. So up we got Cosmo Protector. Cosmo Protector, another hidden weapon, of course. So let me get down here and we'll take a look at it here. So wearer gains 70% of bonus attack and dual defense, 200% of the wearer's heal, including overflow heal, will be stored into the soul tool up to 250% of the wearer's maximum hit point. Okay. Trigger Starlight Domain when the domain exists on this field. No heal amount will be stored. Okay. Once for it will activate start domain lasts for 10 seconds when domain holds. The soul tool will not store healing, but it can be reactivated once the domain disappears. Okay. Deals 80% of stored healing as damage that will be distributed evenly across all enemies. All allies receive 11% increased attack based on the wearer's attack. So this looks like. So basically, this is what it's going to do is any healing will be stored. Any excess overflow healing, as I call it, will be stored inside this, and then it will be dispensed back as damage. So it's a pretty interesting effect. Okay, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really exactly sure how useful it would be, actually. We'll have to see. Once I'm not exactly sure if Wrong's healing, if there's going to be enough healing for there to be overflow, and plus I'm not sure that I want some of the healing taken away. See, it says 200%. Of the wearer's heal, including overflow heal, will be stored in the soul tool. That 200% that they're taking away, does that mean I'm not going to get healed? So I'm not exactly sure. If that was just overflow heal, that would be nice, but it's actually saying it's going to take that. So I'm not exactly sure whether or not this will be something that that will be useful in the long run. It seems to me like it might be counterintuitive. It probably worked really well with IN, but I'm not sure it's going to work well with Wrong because, like I said, Wrong's she doesn't do as much healing as IN does, but she does a lot more in terms of support with stats and buffs and stuff. So I'm not exactly sure whether or not this will be a good tool. I would definitely make sure that it's stuck on someone who's definitely not melee, because you definitely do not want any of your healing being pulled away from a melee character. So it's definitely going to want to be put on a ranged character. So if you do that, it probably won't be that much of a problem. But I don't really see this being productive, especially in boss fights. Okay, I mean boss fights that healing is exceedingly important, and pulling that away to increase your attack. In lower levels, of course, where dying is not something that is an issue, yeah, it would be useful. But in higher levels, when you're getting up against bosses, sec bosses, and the tyrant, the treant. Yeah, yeah. I'm not exactly sure that this would be um, much of a thing because it does give you 70% of a bonus attack and 70% dual defense. So I don't know. We'll have to see. It's one of those on paper. It doesn't look like it would be. It looks like it would be counterproductive in most cases. Um, Now, when you get up to, when you start getting up into, put some of the fittings on it, you get healing enhancements and damage reduction, which helps. And then, of course, the lower the hit points, the higher the damage reduction. So, if you start putting, some really good, leveling it up, put some fittings on it, so it might actually be really useful. But in its base effect, uh, 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 you know, uh, yeah, you might want to wait until you put some good stuff on that before you start throwing it on. We'll give it a try and see how it works. So you should have just from this event, you should be able to get 60. I've got 55, but there is an invasion associated with it, and I still need to get the 5. You have to do that 10 times, so I need to do that one more time. That's a piece of cake. You should be able to knock that out in 3 days easy. But in that, there's also a hidden weapon chest up to get some mutilated quartz as well as some um, the coins. Got a hidden weapon sale. Some good stuff in here. You want to purchase of course, you want to purchase the 30 for the Cosmo. Then you should snatch this up. Snatching this up will allow you to complete the fiery Sky Luo. This is the remaining shards for that are in here. Okay, so make sure that you don't just throw those on something else. Make sure that you do use those on the fiery scoop, because I did create this morning once I got that chest. So that's enough. Gives you one more than I needed, but I think I hit one inside of the secret treasure one time, so I had one extra that I needed. Either way, make sure that you do use the number that you needed to create the fiery skull. That's a really good hidden weapon. It definitely has some usefulness. I'm going to go ahead and start working on bringing it up. Ranged attacks deal 930% of the attack as damage. Again, up to where it went to consume all orbs to unleash a fiery explosion at the target. So this is a really good a weapon for a ranged. Make sure you put it on a ranged attacker. Do not put it on a melee attacker, okay? Because it's ranged attacks. Deal 930, not melee attacks, okay? So make sure you do that. But this is a really good one. This is definitely one that you want to focus on. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and bring this up. And as soon as it's an SS plus, so it's going to be beneficial. But a lot of my SSs are already maxed out, so it's going to be probably going to want to see 1 or 2 stars before it'll be more effective than some of these maxed out ones. So we'll have to see, but we'll get it up there and get it on there. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good one for any ranged attacker. I'll probably put it on, Rakasha or something like that. We'll have to see how it works out. But we'll take a look at it when it happens. So the wrong event has been, of course, cleared out, so it's no longer on here. We do have the lucky treasure up, so you might get lucky and draw something inside of here for the Cosmo Protector. I've never really hit anything of great importance in there. I think I've only actually hit it like once or twice where I actually got something useful. But that's a pay. This is one of the pay things. You can purchase the tokens. That's pretty much the only way to actively participate in this, is to purchase the tokens. And then just hope you get lucky and hit hit something, one of the good ones. That's pretty much all you can actually do with it. If you want to participate in it. Too much RNG associated with it, though, so it's not something I'm interested in, since we're doing this from a free-to-play perspective. So that's where we're at right now. But yeah, so Cosmo Protector up. Go ahead and make sure you participate, get all that you can, and make sure you claim the rewards. You got 3 days, so it's no rush as it is. And we'll have to go through this. I've been bringing up... I got a Sura Tang Chin. I finally got him up to 1 sun. I've already gathered all of the actual shards that I need to take care of Wrong. I've got the I've got all the shards that I need right here, so we'll be ready to go for that. So any of the excess shards that I'm getting right now, I'm just throwing in the Chang Chen. We'll see how far up we can get him. I'll probably be able to get him up to to 3 star most likely, maybe even 4 or 3 sun. I'm sorry, before 4 sun, possibly before the new character is announced. Remember, that's what's going to happen next. We'll get a new character announcement, and the first event for that new character will be where we'll get the final shards for. Wrong. The final 20 will be in that chest inside of the new character event. So look for that to happen sometime within the next week and a half, 2 weeks is when we'll see it come up, and then we'll be able to create wrong, and we'll have a full SS plus set. We'll have SS plus Ren for our tank, multiple SS plus healers. Use whoever you want. I've got Clear Sky and BB Dong, but you've also got Bo and a Star Tank Chain out there as well. Just have 2 of those, and then we'll finally have an SS plus healer in wrong. And we'll get the next announcement for the new character. It's either going to be SS plus Wu or SS plus Tang San. Not exactly sure which one it's going to be. I'm leaning more towards Wu because I think we haven't really seen much associated with her. So we've already got an SS Tang San. We do not have an SS Wu. And we're not going to, of course, since only SS pluses are being character. So the last thing we have for Wu is this S right here. So we'll be, finally be getting an SS plus version of her. And we'll have to see exactly what she offers, but I assume she'll be a pretty powerful character, as well the new SS plus Tang San. Of course, you're going to be looking. He's probably going to be the most powerful character in the game, would be my assumption. Okay, just based on the anime and based on the story, the way it goes, so I expect him to be super powerful, would be my assumption. So to keep that in mind. In terms of storing up your shards, if you can't build both Wu and both Tang San, so if Wu does come up, I would be definitely want to gather shards and just hold on to them, and then make a determination as to whether or not you just want to forego Wu at this point, the SS plus, and wait for the Tang San. It could be Tang San and it won't make a difference, but I expect him to be probably right up there with Clear Sky in terms of power, possibly a tiny bit exceeding it. They've done pretty good scaling the game. They haven't got, the dynamic hasn't got too far out of whack at this point. Everything seems to be basically equivalent. I did not see much of an increase when I replaced Bo with BB Dong. There was a little bit, but that's because BB's more of a direct attacker. Plus, she has survivability. She survives. She's got the equivalent survivability of a tank. So she lives longer, so she has the chance to do more damage, which is why you see your damage go up with BB Dong. Bo, when she gets hit, she dies. She's a ranged attacker, and she's not built for survivability, while BB Dong is built to do damage, debuffs, and survivability, and she does it very well. So keep that in mind. So because she lives longer, she does more damage in the long run. So yeah, that's why that was a good choice putting her in. I think he probably does more damage than BB Dong once you get him fully maxed out, which is why I've decided to go ahead and bring him up, because he has an extremely electric skill set. So I wanted to bring him up just in case. Okay, even if he can go second team. Okay, no big deal. We're going to have both first and second teams going to be completely full of SS pluses before long, except for maybe a healer. You're going to have to use IN for your second team healer. And I don't know when there's going to be another healer coming out. Really, at this point, the only one they could offer that would be even remotely keeping with the lore would be an SS plus IN. But we've got an SIN, an SSIN, so they could do the same thing as they did with Texan and come out with an SS plus IN, which is probably what they'll do since we've got an SS plus wrong. So that's really the only other healer that they would have to consider. I guess they could come out with, an Oscar possibly, maybe have him an SS plus healer, but I think they would use IN before they did that. So we'll have to see. But so pretty much the first and second teams are going to be able to survive with, we'll have SS pluses on both teams first before long. They're consistently releasing them, and you consistently can get them. You should have all of the characters. If you participated in all 3 portions of the event, you didn't have to spend any money to get them. That's why I have all the characters. And I've got them all except for, all of them are maxed out except for Tang Chen. Sorry, Tang Chen. I haven't quite got him, but I'm working on him as well. But yeah, all the SS buses, I have them. And they're, pretty much close to maxed out. So, I mean, 5 Sun, 5 Sun, 5 Sun, 5 Sun. So I've got, not a problem. But yeah, so we'll have to see. But for right now, definitely want to go for Wrong. She has SS Plus. She offers healing. She doesn't do quite as much direct healing as I've said before as Yin, but she does offer a lot more in terms of support and stat building. Her 7-tile pagoda that she uses, her weapon or her skill increases the stats, skill power of all of her allies, making them much stronger. So I think because of that, it's not necessarily, if our stats increase, healing won't be as required as much, but she still does a pretty good bunch of healing too. So I think that's why we're going to see a little bit better, higher scores, more attack, more damage and stuff. We'll have to see that, but we're going to get her. We're going to max her, and we're going to put her in there and see what happens. I pretty much got all the mats to do it. So right now, I'm just in a holding pattern, gathering mats and whatnot for using the lower levels. Like you can use, like I've only got Oscar at once, so I can know what mats I'm going to use by going in and looking at these skills and making sure that I have enough for the for the fuse when it actually comes, so that making sure I have it so that when I do get her, I can blister right through the breakthroughs and get her up into the red pretty quick, which is the goal. But it's just that's what I'm doing, making sure I do have the mats so that we can get as far with her as we can, because we're going to be able to take her up to 5 Sun pretty much immediately. So we'll have to see how it goes. Working through it, we'll see what happens. All right, so again, Cosmo Protector is up, so get in there and knock that out. Make sure you get all the shards, so that when they do have another hidden weapon event, you should be able to get the chest and be able to complete the actual weapon. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Click on it, you get notified each time I drop a video. Kid here, coming at you from the corner, signing out.